Hey y'all, Jedi here. We're going to be doing this elemental domain ice. I've beaten stage 5. I'm going to try to show you that stage 5 team. We'll see how this goes. It's a very rough one to get through. To take me a few tries. I don't have a 100% win rate on this team. It does take a little bit of luck with our skill in there. So this is the team we're using. Basically, we got Horus, our tank here, using the armor right here, the ancestral protection rope to try to soak some damage for everyone else. Mainly with him, you want to try to just build up HP, defense, and just like any other normal tank, get him tanked through. I used Troll Heart. I do think that this one's pretty important for him. It's a rare artifact, so easy to get. Definitely recommend getting it and leveling it up and using it on your tank. Quite a bit of HP, tons of defense, no scrolls on his skills. Our adventurer here. So for this one, I changed his chest from an attack percent to an HP percent. I also happen to have a double defense percent roll on it, so I got really lucky with that. If I didn't have that double defense percent roll, then I might have done a defense chest to see if it would help the survivability. But sometimes you got to play with your gear. If you do him in HP and it's not working, try a defense chest you have and see if that will work for you. Because depending, you want to try to get a decent threshold on both. Right now we got lots of HP, so it's good survivability, still some decent attack, decent crit rate. So he's still helping out with damage a bit. Quarry in here, I re-geared him from the other videos that you've probably seen him in. We just push tons of HP, defense, a little bit of skill haste. So I use these two for our skill haste. Nothing crazy on the sub rolls, other than we got this double defense there, which helps. Just a single defense, single HP on this one. So just look for those HP defense substats. Defense percentage only had a flat rate and a double percent. So this is actually a really good chest. So remember guys, even if you get these flat rate stats, doesn't mean it's going to end up being a bad piece, because that stacks together really well. And then defense right here. Alright, nothing crazy on that. Defense, a little bit of skill haste, a little bit of HP. I wish these resistance and attack speed rolls would have landed in these two, but that's alright. And then I did HP here because we were getting defense everywhere else. I needed to stack up a little more HP, but we also happened to get that defense roll. So as you see, defense, 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 pretty much everywhere defense, but I got good HP substats, so it's really good survivability for him. His stat threshold doesn't need to be that high on the defense. I used before when I actually beat the boss, he was only at like 1800 defense, just so you know. Dane here, he is going to be a replaceable champion for this one, so he's only not super free-to-play friendly. He's, I mean, epics are not the easiest to get. Over time, everyone should have them, but right now in the game, you may not. If you don't have them, just try to find someone else who does an AoE damage that you can get something like this on. If anyone's ever gotten any dupe epic, which playing free to play, you're gonna get it eventually. I don't pull any gold dice. I only pull purple when I got enough, and this was the first one that I picked up. So this thing has that defense penalty. This is a massive help on bosses when you can land it. So for him, we got good attack. Defense and HP is not great. He's pretty squishy, because mostly I went for the accuracy here, and that combines with this accuracy and this accuracy, so keep that in mind, because it does take a lot of accuracy to land in here. Eric, he's just all damage. We got 92% crit rate overall. We got over 200% crit damage, 2500 attack. If I could trade a little crit damage for a little more attack, I would. Just with my gear, I don't quite have it to where I can do that, so this is the best we got. I did add scrolls on him. With this team setup, I was like getting the boss down to 30%, kept dying, scrolled Eric out, started beating the boss. And here I go in, since my team with the HP, they have really good HP, so I'm looking for this HP extra. If you have higher defense than you do HP, you might pick just something that has a defense on there, help your team out. We're going to take these guys off auto. Our goal is to wipe out some of these attackers, so we want to start with Dane because he has that decreased defense. Hopefully we get lucky and land it. I'm going to hit the big group. My goal here is getting this guy and this guy wiped out, and then when we can, getting her wiped out. But we want to try to take them out as fast as we can so they can't damage our team too much. Adventure, he can AoE right there. Now with Eric, when I come in here, I'm going to move it to only hit these two, because if I only hit these two, I have a good chance of taking one out and almost another. If I hit the whole group, they're going to just be soaking it all up. Eric is really good for single target nuking. There we go, took them out. Now from here on out, for the rest of this, I just want to get my ultimates recharged while Quarian gets some defense up on everyone. Or get some heals on everyone. Now this guy, he does do that little immortality thing, and then he's going to use a special that actually hits kind of hard. But it's alright. Okay, we avoided it. We got lucky on that one. Usually it hits, and then we use Quarian to just heal him back up from it. Now in here, we have everyone's stuff recharged, which is the goal. We want to use Dane. We're aiming for these back 2 units, these attack units right here. Of course, you still want to hit as many people as you can, but those are the 2 that if you can get them wiped out, the rest of them you can just play cleanup on. So boom, hit there. We got 1 decreased defense, that's good. Use adventure, slam right there. Boom. Now we come in with Eric, you have 2 options. You can try to hit both. You probably won't take them both out, or you can hit just the decreased defense. We should be able to wipe him out. I'm going to aim for both and see if we get lucky, since we got that defense down penalty on that one. So as you can see, they're still a little bit both up, but we should be good. Oh, and then that's the only bad thing that sucks in here, is getting that silence put on your people. Wait a minute for that. There we go. So we got that chance for the decreased defense. Boom. Come in and hit them again. Now we took those units out. Now we can focus on getting healed up and getting our specials recharged. You definitely want your specials recharged for when you hit the boss. You'll see that's why we needed to bump his HP or defense up, because these guys hit hard. Doesn't matter what stage you're on, they all hit pretty hard. Alright, so once we get to the boss, he's on AoE, so you could really click auto on him and then get the decreased defense down, and then hit auto on adventure, because they're just going to hit the whole group anyways. But we're going to manual to show you where we're aiming at. We hit the whole group, boom. With Eric, we're going to go after the tank over here, Furbath. So I'm going to move this to where I'm only hitting Furbath, so that the others don't soak up the damage and we can get his health down some. So take this down. So with Quarian, we want, once the boss gets a little about halfway out, we'll use that increase defense there. Right before he hits, we'll get the shield from that. And then he goes down, which is okay. So now right here, we can't reach both. Because we can't reach both, I'm going to actually focus on the boss, because we want to take it down as much damage as we can. The little tank dude here, like, we can take him out even if it's just Horus that ends up left. So we're good. So Eric, focus on the boss. Actually, you can go auto Eric, because he'll aim only for the boss, so we're good. Just in case, though. As you guys see, Eric just does massive damage. Alright, he's out. It's okay. So we're good. The goal here is if you can get the boss below that 250,000 threshold for sure, at least below 300,000, then your tank should be able to wipe him out. Alright guys, so that's the run. It's definitely a rough one to get through, but once you get it the first time, it's not too hard. Some key things to remember: the first time you're beating it, get your little mastery hand or whatever prepped for whenever you get in here. So whenever go through stage 4 or whatever a few times to get that up, if you're having a hard time, because that one, if you use it right before the boss does his final hit, it's going to give your whole team a shield that helps them survive long enough just to get one more special off, which may be all you need to get the boss's health down. I've beat him without using the hand, but it's just the extra benefit if you have it, use it. Now, for as far as your team setup goes, remember you definitely need a tank that's taking the extra damage for everyone, so you need them to be in the ancestral protection gear. That's a big help. If you don't have the legendary, you just need to go farm a little bit before you come into this, because this is definitely a hard one. Eric, push all your attack, crit rate, crit damage. Dane, he can be replaced by anyone else that you might have, so depending on what your champion roster looks like, just go for someone who's got an AoE skill that's going to help you take out the waves. The main thing for Dane for me is not actually really so much as for the boss, which is why when he died I don't get too worried, because he doesn't do a whole lot of damage to the boss. He does help with the decreased defense though, but mainly it's first because he has that decreased defense penalty, hit my waves, and then try to nuke him down, and that helps out a lot. Have a good AoE nuker to replace him with, then use the Crown of the Unclean on your adventurer, because he does have a AoE that can hit at least a decent amount of people. So my setup here, I leave Eric out here to the side. The reason being is when you get to the boss and he jumps over, boom, he's gonna hit the group. If you keep Eric in this area, then the boss will not be able to hit Eric. I leave him here because when he's right here, he ends up running forward on the final stage anyways a little bit, so it doesn't really make a difference where you start him at right there. You just don't want him too far up because he's going to be getting hit by these people on these main waves, so you want him at least right there. Like I was saying though, boss will hit here, boom, does his big attack on them. Quarian, when I get to the final boss, I try to save his special to where the boss's meter, if it's at least halfway, you can use it. You get that increased defense on everyone, and then that's going to help them survive the first hit. So mainly what I found with this team is they need to survive the very first hit. Other than Dane, I'd prefer if he did, but if he doesn't, it's okay. But you really need Quarian, Adventurer, Horus, and Eric to make it through the first hit, because once they make it through the first hit, then they can at least get off another special. For the Adventurer, we want him to try to hit the boss twice with his special, and then Eric, we want him to be able to hit the boss a minimum of twice, but 3 times is really ideal because you can melt away a lot of his health, and then once you get his health low enough, Horus can clean up if he needs to. On the final boss, don't worry so much about this golem dude. He dies pretty easily, so just using your AoEs in the beginning mostly wipes him out, and then he does that little immortality thing, which is, you can't really beat through it unless you have Dane speed tuned to take it out. But the problem with that is that you need Dane hitting everyone in the beginning, so he's not going to be speed tuned to take him out. If you position people like this on the final boss, when Horus is fighting the golem over here, that if the golem gets a special off, it's not hitting everyone, so he doesn't do the damage to wipe you out. But if you have everyone grouped up closer here to the front, then you have a chance of this guy, whenever you're on the boss, which he's over here, you have a chance of his special hitting them, and you don't want that. So you want Horus to be able to run up and keep him away from hitting the team. And that's the team. That's kind of my idea of what I was going through to run through it. Very free to play friendly. Everyone's going to have Horus, Adventure. Everyone should have this rare by now. I've got all the rares in the game. I've only pulled purple dice, so everyone should have him. And then everyone should have Eric, because you should have beat the story and gotten him. So everything is very free to play. The only one you may not have is Dane. Just replace him with any other damage type dealer that you can, and you're good to go. And remember to increase a little bit of your defense on people, so that way, or HP, so that way they'll survive. Y'all have a good one.